my own view is that China should internationalize the renminbi because relying overwhelmingly on U.S. dollar transactions is not sensible at this point. It's too risky. It is too much vulnerable to U.S. official intervention and meddling. Russia had $300 billion of reserves seized just by a stroke of the pen, and I can tell you the mentality in Washington and in London and in Brussels is we take what we want and we steal it as we want, and they really act in that way. If I were the BRICS countries, I would say that's fine and good what the U.S. wants to do, but there are many ways to settle an international transaction. And it doesn't have to be dollar-based through the SWIFT system. So my own prediction is that 10 years from now, we have a very different international settlement system in which the renminbi and perhaps some other currencies are playing a larger role.
But not crypto.
I don't think crypto is either. I don't see it having any value at all. And I see it having a negative value relative to central bank digital currencies. Because a currency, yes, you could give a license to somebody to counterfeit money. Why do you give a license to someone to print money instead of the government if you want monetary control, which I believe in? If you want a banking system that is stable with a central bank that stands behind it. Why have crypto? Crypto is just an invitation, from my point of view, to trouble or arbitrary redistribution of wealth that makes no sense. And as someone who holds dollars, I don't love Bitcoin edging in and saying, well, we have $2 trillion of wealth. Well, where did you come from? Out of the blue. You didn't make anything. All you did was pump more CO2 into the atmosphere. You wasted a huge amount of computer time. You added nothing of value to the world real economy, nothing. So where did that wealth come from? Well, evidently it came from the rest of us. It added to inflationary pressures. It reduced monetary control. So I'm not a believer in crypto. I am a believer in digital currencies. That's quite different. That's a mechanism for payments. But then comes the role of the renminbi in particular. To my mind, China is the world's high saving country, and that saving is good for development all over the world. China should be investing in the rest of the world. And to invest in the rest of the world means an outflow of capital to build factories or to buy sovereign debt or to invest in foreign private bonds and so forth. And that means the renminbi denominated assets. That means Hong Kong being the center, I think, for finance for outflows from China. Outflow is not a bad thing. It means China buys up a lot of the productive assets in other places in the world, which is good for China and good for those places where China is investing. It's a win-win proposition. It's not a zero-sum proposition. So I would like to see China internationalize the renminbi. I'd like to see Hong Kong be not a dollar-based financial center, but a renminbi-based financial center to a large extent, and not just offshore renminbi, but an integrated financial system. And I believe because China is so efficient in low carbon energy systems and other things that the world needs, that investing through Belt and Road and other initiatives is really a wonderful win-win activity for China and the world. I want to see more of it. I want to see Hong Kong as the great financial center that intermediates all of that. And I don't believe that can or should be done in dollars. I think it should be done in renminbi to a very large extent.